Let's take a look at Wildcard Weekend. Let's bring back Hugh Aufull, ilani Sportsbook manager, for a segment we like to call Hugh Betcha. Hugh, what's up, man? How we doing?
Everything's great, man. Everything's great. How you doing?
Doing good. It's going to be a cold and maybe snowy weekend, so we have money to win sitting on our couch watching NFL playoffs, or if you can make it out, getting up to ilani and sitting down there and having a pop watching these games. There's some pretty good matchups. I'm just going to go chronologically. The first one is going to be Saturday, 1:30, Browns-Texans in Houston. Now, they've already played, and the Browns won in Houston, although C.J. Stroud didn't play in that game. Who do you have more trust in, the veteran Flacco or the rookie Stroud?
It might boil down to which defense do I have more, think highly of more so. The Browns defense is so good. I know Stroud can do some magical things. And, Flacco has stepped in and done everything. He has managed everything very, very well. I think I would probably lean toward Cleveland just a little bit. Tough on the road, and Stroud can do great things, but that defense is brutal.
It's nuts what Flacco's been able to do. By the way, the spread on that game, Cleveland is favored by 2 in Houston. Are you as shocked as I am that Joe Flacco is throwing for 300 yards a game for Cleveland?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you watched him play for the Jets, and maybe it was because he didn't have any protection at all, and he looked terrible. He has stepped in here and done exactly what he needed to do. Has found receivers. It's pretty remarkable what he's been able to do.
Good fit. All right, so Saturday night at 5, Dolphins Chiefs in Kansas City. What does because they're saying possibly 0 degrees and a negative wind chill for this game. What is a cold temperature like that? What does super cold weather like that do to a game, in your opinion?
Both of these teams know exactly what it is like to play in these cold games, and they're pretty much. The veterans can help the younger guys out to what they're doing. And one thing that happens is both teams are playing it. It isn't like one team can just deal with it. It's just bloody cold. And I don't think that it will have an effect, but it has an effect on everybody. Has
the over-under dropped a bunch because of that news that it would be so cold?
It's just dropped a half a point. We opened 44. It's down to 43.5 now. I have heard more under wagers today, but sometimes you can take a cold weather game and you think, oh my goodness, it's not going to be anything like this, and next thing you know, it's 30-20 and it's 50 points scored.
Now I know you're a Chiefs fan, so try to be impartial for me here, but am I the only one who is not writing off Miami?
Oh, I'm not writing off Miami at all, because at even plus 4.5 points, they can run the football, and if they're able to do that and keep the offense off the field and grind it out, Tua makes some good pass completions and stuff like that, I wouldn't write them off at all. I think that they have the injuries is probably the biggest thing that is hurting Miami. Defensively, they didn't hardly have any edge rushers left. But like you say, taking it off the fandom of it all, I tell you what, plus 4.5 in a game that's going to be really cold like this could come down to 3 either way. Tough not to take. Yeah,
I agree. I think I might be on Miami, but I might throw them in a teaser just to be safe. But I also think the weather brings that down to just kind of in Kansas City's offense. I mean, Kansas City's offense hasn't been great. I know they have a good defense, but they're not the same.
No, they've dropped more balls than anybody in the league this year, and I don't think the cold weather is going to help that any.
Right? Yeah, and then the other side, Miami's they're home run hitters. They can still get a home run or two. And Mostert, you mentioned their run game. Mostert, 12 carries, 85 yards, and a tutty the first time they played, even though Kansas City won. So you're right. All right. So that wraps up Saturday. Sunday, we get Steelers-Bills, 10 a.m. The spread is Buffalo -10. Steelers have a terrible track record without T.J. Watt. Where would your money go if you bet this one?
10 points in a playoff game. It's so difficult. It is a lot. And again, you're talking weather could not. I'm sure it's going to be plenty cool in Buffalo. But you look at the offensive weapons that Pittsburgh has, and look, Rudolph has done good things in what he's played in this last little run of his. But it will be hard for me to go against the home team. like you say, you might want to tease it down just a little bit, tease Buffalo down a little bit. But I certainly think Buffalo is going to be the one that wins this game.
Packers-Cowboys, Dallas awfully tough at home. That'd be the second game on Sunday. What do you make of the Packers' chances here? 7.5-point dogs.
I think pretty good chances, but sometimes, one thing I was going through as I was making my numbers here, that when you see Green Bay, they have played fairly well. Dallas has played really, really well at home. The 7.5 to me is wanting to suck the public into. Look, this is the side you got to take. You're going to take a touchdown, and
Green Bay.
7.5.
They're basically
absolutely
enticing you to take Green Bay.
Correct, and that's why I would take the other side.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, simply because this is the numbers I made. I made Dallas 10. And I think that I had to go back through it because I thought, Green Bay has played really, really well, but I just don't. To me, it's one of those things that, again, it's trying to suck you into your. My first thought was, my God, you got to take 7.5 points. It's just something. Actually, we are down to Dallas -7, so. I think I would play the home team.
Yeah, but I think so too. That's another good one to tease. If you want to just tease down, Dallas only has to win. But yeah, I think for me, it comes back to Green Bay's defense. I don't know that they slow Dallas down, especially at home.
Correct. Especially at home.
Now, here's a side that I like. When I look at all these, none of the sides really jumped out at me. Toying with Cleveland. I do like Miami in a teaser, maybe a Miami-Dallas teaser. A side I like is this Sunday night game. I love the Lions. They're only laying 3 against the Rams, also a team that's very good at home, Detroit. Talk me off of that, or will you?
For the last 3-4 weeks, I have thought once the Rams clinched the playoff spot, because they were playing really well, and then they got their playoff spot, that is the one team I thought nobody wants to play. Defensively, they're playing really tough. Stafford's not hurt. He's as healthy as he has been in any time of this time of year. I think that some of the tight end injuries with Laporta being hurt for Detroit. Like I said, I have been on the train that said I wouldn't want to play the Rams, and I think it would be very, very careful here in this matchup.
Okay.
Just a defensive thing. The Rams have played really, really well, and a healthy Stafford. There's a lot of dynamics to him going back to Detroit to play this playoff game. No more pressure is going to be on him. I have gone back and forth, but I think I'd probably play the Rams.
Wow. All right. Monday night is Eagles-Bucks. Now, I was certain, you and I were talking just the other day up there. I told you, I said, I was certain the Eagles are first round and out. But then they go play Tampa. You see the matchup and you're like, well, it's Tampa. Maybe the weakest of all the playoff teams, maybe. Arguably. So now I'm kind of waffling. I think I'm still taking the Bucks, but what do you think? It's Philly -3, still favored in Tampa on Monday night.
I agree with you. It's tough for me not to take the Buccaneers. I realize that, no pun intended, Hurts got hurt with his finger getting just blasted. Something's wrong with Philadelphia, and I do not know what it is. What do they say? They've fallen and they can't get up. That's what it seems like. That's what it feels like. To just get blasted by the Giants and you have the division on the line. I don't know what the fix is. I don't know what to get them, I kept thinking, they're going to right the ship. They're going to right the ship. They haven't right. They haven't gotten themselves straight at all. And everybody's, nobody believes in Mayfield and what the Bucs can do. And they're at home and you're going to give them points. And I think it's hard not to take Tampa.
I know it's one of those where anytime you get the better defense at home catching points, that's not a bad bet in the NFL. And you're right. The Eagles, we just need to trust our eyes. They are not right. So that's a rematch too. The Eagles won the first matchup in Tampa 25-11 earlier in the season. What is your pick of the week, Hugh? My pick of the week is Cleveland. Okay. I like Cleveland this week. It's tough because fan-wise, I really like Stroud and what he can do, but I just don't know that defense is something else. And the Browns have proven defensively what they can do, and I don't think they're afraid to play anybody in the AFC and worry about anything, riding that defense. And hey, Flacco's been doing what he's got to do to win. Yeah, not even laying a field goal. I mean, only 2 points. That's juicy. All right. Have a great weekend up there. Stay warm. ilani Sportsbook manager Hugh Aufull. Hugh betcha. Thank you, Hugh.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon. Cleveland. I think what I'm going to do, we'll reveal our picks tomorrow. I'm toying with Cleveland. I think a Dallas-Miami teaser is interesting. And I also think getting the Bucks +3 and maybe get something on the Bucks in a teaser for Monday night, since that's the last game. You got options if you win the first leg of the teaser. Maybe that too. And then maybe he tried to talk me off the Lions. I don't know. I like Detroit. I may bet Detroit, but
that defense doesn't scare you?
Who, Rams?
No.
Oh, Detroit. Oh,
That's
absolutely.
why.
Yes, absolutely. I think that's going to be a good game, but I think threes, Detroit wins, it's probably going to be by 3, right? Like it's,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the NFL that usually lands on 3 and 7. And I feel like, I don't know, there's something about the Lions at home. I think they're going to get this one done. But now you guys are scaring me.
Well, a
little bit. Because you're right. The Lions are not very trustworthy.
They're really good at making sure every game is within one score.
Yeah, they do. They are that.
They could be blowing a team out, or they could be getting blown out, and they will find a way to make sure it's a one-score game.
Yeah. Who do you want the ball? Okay, so if you're an impartial observer to that game, who do you think you want to have the ball last? I'd say probably the Lions, right? You want the Lion. In other words, let's just say you need one of these quarterbacks to drive you down for a game-winning score. Who's going to do it?
I feel like you trust Matt Stafford more. He's proven that he can do it. Not that Jared Goff hasn't, but I just feel like...
Yeah, that was kind of a stupid question.
If you're going to go on trust, it's the Super Bowl winning quarterback.
That's a good game.
It's going to be a great game.
I love this weekend, man. Wildcard Weekend and Divisional Weekend is great too, but... this is going to be some good stuff. Appreciate Hugh. We'll get him back on 3:30 next Thursday, too, to preview the next round of the playoffs.